let yourself down. Keep your chin up, keep your chin up. Every now and then, everybody gets to hey. Keep your chin up, keep your chin up. You can put yourself to use, so keep it moving. Good luck and don't dare give up. Give it a little bit of vitriol. Hey! And if it's really gonna catch you up, give it a little bit of vitriol. Hey! And if you can't shape up, nobody wants you back. No, well, then what everybody's saying. Hey! Good luck and don't dare give up. Give it a little bit of vitriol. Don't let yourself down. Keep your chin up, keep your chin up. Every now and then, everybody feels too bad. Keep your chin up, keep your chin up. You can put yourself to use, so keep it moving. Keep your chin up, keep your chin up. Every now and then, everybody feels too bad. Keep your chin up, keep your chin up. You can put yourself to use, so keep it moving. Keep it moving, 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 keep it moving. I'm on the hook at the head of the hawk. I go back to sleep. I got a little. I'm becoming a little obsessed, and you roll right over me. I got a little. I've been a little distant lately. Can we be discreet? I got a little. I feel myself lose grip on the wheel, and you roll right over me. I get a little dip, 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 dip in my mood. Dip, 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 dip in my mood. I'm on the hook at the head of the hawk. I go back to sleep. I got a little. I'm becoming a little obsessed, and you roll right over me. I got a little dip, 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 dip in my mood. Dip, 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 dip in my mood. And I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I don't know, and I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I don't know, and I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I don't know, and I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I'm on the hook at the head of the hawk. I go back to sleep. I got a little. I'm becoming a little obsessed, and you roll right over me. I got a little. I've been a little distant lately. Can we be discreet? I got a little. I feel myself lose grip on the wheel, and you roll right over me. I get a little. I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I don't know, and I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I don't know, and I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I don't know, and I don't know why, and I don't know why. And I don't know. I'm on the hook at the head of the hawk. I go back to sleep. I got a little. I'm becoming a little obsessed, and you roll right over me.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service interests and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Welcome to the Oz Oval Summer Series for 2024-25, and we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round 4, I believe this is, and we've got 2 more after this one. We are coming down to it. We're past the halfway mark, and the boys, we've got 17 out there at the moment. The boys are about to go into quali very, very shortly, and great to see a decent turnout, and another night race. The whole series is night races for the summer series, and we've got some great practice going on out there at the moment. And a newcomer to the series is Tyler. His name escapes me for the moment. Tyler Stevenson, that's it. Yes, sorry, Tyler. A bit of a seniors moment there, forgot your name. But yes, Tyler Stevenson, and he's an experienced NASCAR runner, going to turn his hand to the V8 supercars on ovals, the Gen 2s. And we'll see what the boys can do with them here tonight at Charlotte. They pushing the boundaries there earlier on in practice and finding that wall, so they know where the limits are, and it's going to be interesting to see how things go. And our testing last week, we had a test and tune on our off week for the new Gen 3s, and learned quite a lot out of it. They're very setup dependent, and if you get the setup right, they will draft on a longer track. But at Vegas for our test and tune, it went okay. I won't say it went great, but there was a lot to be discovered in that and a lot to be learnt. And things went very, very well. Now the boys are out for open qualifying. So as you can see, they've all pretty much gone out together, or at least a large number of them. And we'll see how they go with the times around here. And not quite sure what the conditions are out there at the moment, but being a night race in November, it's probably a bit cooler as we take a look. Yep, an air temp of 66 degrees. Track temp of 67, so it's a bit cooler than it has been the last few rounds, and that's probably just under 20 degrees Celsius. So wind direction is from the southwest at around about 8.5 miles per hour, and it's partly cloudy out there. So a coolish evening, and it should be good for the tyres. The boys have got 4 sets of tyres, so the starter set and 3 changes, a 75-minute time certain event. It says 60% fuel, but it's actually 70, and the 3 sets of tyres is 3 changes with fixed setup. So going to be very interesting to see what they can actually accomplish around this 1.5 mile track, or 2.41 kilometres. But as you can see out there, it's going to be very competitive tonight and probably very tight. And the boys very familiar with this track. They've run it a few times. If we take a bit of a look at our points standings at the moment, our top 10 out there, Craig Roffey continues to lead the series by 16 points over Gary Wellman. And Adam Malone sits in third on 101. Pariana Starkus from Rogue sits on 95. Tony Roffey from Rogue on 85. Michael Ladder on 77. Peter Matson 68. Kate Donnelly in 8th place on 61, and we've got an equal 9th and 10th there, equal 9th, Troy Davidson and Scott McClintock, both on 59 points there. So things are getting pretty tight at the top. Only a 16-point buffer between first and second, and not much more between second and third. Everything's pretty close. And with the 3 races to go, next week we go to Auto Club, and then we wrap things up the fortnight after at Daytona. So going to be very interesting. The 1.5 miler and the January 5th race, Auto Club Speedway, and then 2 weeks after that we go to Daytona. So very interesting stuff as the series comes down to it. Craig Roffey with a I wouldn't say comfortable lead, 16 points. So it'll come down to how we go here tonight. But, yep, I expect it to be very competitive out there at Charlotte. The boys like racing here, and they're all very familiar with it. So We see Gary Wellman up front at the moment on the top of the standings with 29.7. And Tony Roffey in behind, just a couple of hundred tenths behind. And Todd Maxfield, Troy Mortensen, Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, Chris Bleakley has joined us. Great to see you here, Chris. And, we see a bit of coming together there between the two teammates from Rogue Simsport. Oh, yes. Get it out of their system now, but qualifying's probably not the best time for it. Andy Barber's out there as well. Pete Matson, Adam St. John, Michael Ladder, Richie Sanchez from the US, Pariana Starkis and Luke Keamy. So we've picked up a couple of more runners out there tonight. Troy Stevenson yet to actually register a time, I believe. Tyler Stevenson, not Troy. But Troy Mortensen is out there in 6th place at the moment on a 30.177. As we see, we've got the 3 Southern Stars boys, Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, great to have him back with us this week, and Andy Barber. So they're all putting in the best they can out there at the moment. The open qual actually gives them a chance to possibly improve their grid starting position because they get to use the draft and stuff like that. Whereas our normal series, we have single flying lap lone qualifying. So it's all really down to the driver. Whereas with the open qualifying, as I said, they get to use the draft and run together out there for the 10-minute qualifying session. And it gives them a chance to maybe pick up a couple of tenths, improve their starting position on the grid, and give them the best possible chance to do something with it as we watch Luke Keamy out there at the moment in the 166, I believe it is. Three minutes on the clock at the moment. And it's obviously, of course, Chris Bleakley in behind him in the 11X, is it, I think? 19 Motorsport. So he's having a good crack there, following Luke Keamy around, trying to get the best draft out of that he can to pick up a little bit more time. He's sitting on a 30.266 at the moment in 9th position. Shane Roffey back in 10th. And Gary Wellman still sits on the top there, but Tyler Stevenson now has definitely made his presence known with a 29.8 in 2nd place. Adam Malone back to 3rd. Andy Barber 4th. And Tony Roffey rounds out the top 5 there at the moment for the grid. And Todd Maxfield has joined us also from Simboys. And pretty happy to see him back again this week. It's a difficult time of the year with so much going on. There's Christmas parties and family commitments and stuff. So very happy to see the boys here and to see a fairly strong field out there at the moment. So 2 minutes left on the clock for qualifying. We'll go and take a quick break, come back during warm-up before we actually grid the boys up. And we'll be back in a moment. Just stick around.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, everything simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Welcome back to the Oz Oval Summer Series 24-25. We are at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and another night 75-minute race. And the boys are just wrapping up on qualifying at the moment. We went to our ad break just a touch early. We normally go during warm-up, but we sort of went a little early, and just wanted to talk about a couple of things coming up. Our second full-on season comes around in February. That's, I think, about the 9th of February. I'd have to check that, but it'll be early February, and that will be with the Gens 3 cars. That's why we're doing test and tune nights in between our rounds of the summer series on our off weeks, so that we can get set up sorted and stuff like that. That'll be the 2025A series, and originally, we were going to run about a 23-round series, but what we're doing now is we're going to split it, and we're going to run two 12 or 13-round series, 2025 A and B, with a week off in between. But that kicks off in February, and we're looking forward to that. The boys are chomping at the bit to get their hands on those Gen 3 cars for full-on competition and get sorted out with them and get used to them. So that gives them plenty of chance to practice, and I believe they're doing practices on their own as well. And we'll be having another couple of those over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Obviously, maybe not next week because it's between Christmas and New Year, so that will just be a week off, as this is a fortnightly series. But there'll be another one coming up. So if you are part of the series or want to be, just find us on iRacing, and if you go into the league section and actually run a search for league ID, what is it, 104, would you believe I've gone completely blank on it, 10491, that's it, yep. That's how you find us, and just apply to the league, and we'll take care of it at our end. Also, check out our Discord, our Facebook at V8 Oval Racing, V8SC Oval Racing on Facebook, and that's got links to all our social media. YouTube, we stream exclusively to our Quasi Esports YouTube channel, and the series is brought to you by Everything Simulated. So thanks again to Shannon and the team over at Everything Simulated. No matter what you need to get into some sort of simulation, whether it be aircraft or motor racing, Shannon's the man. He can take care of it for you. Everything from the PC to the cockpit and the controls. So check out Everything Simulated for that. In fact, there are links to everything you need, I believe, in the description of this live stream. Also brought to you by Inside Lane Productions with Kobe Jordan in the production booth, pressing the buttons and giving us great pictures. And in the commentary booth, my name is Steve Hoppett, and I also run Oz Oval. So I get stuck in the commentary booth every couple of weeks and do the commentary for you. So hopefully you enjoy that as the boys are running down the clock on the 5-minute warm-up. But we'll go to a very quick ad before we grid up. We'll pay some bills, honour some sponsors, and we'll be back in just a moment. Stick around.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Oz Oval Summer Series 2024-25 75-minute race, 4 tyres sets, and we've got 70% of fuel. As we take a look at the starting grid, Darren McKenzie managed to get himself to the top in the 02 number 2 car, and just alongside him, Gary Wellman, who was at the top for most of the qualifying session. Row 2, Tyler Stevenson, our newbie, and he is alongside Adam Malone from Southern Stars Racing. So we got 2 Southern Stars cars in the front 2 rows. Craig Roffey and Andy Barber on row 3 tonight, starting out of there. Row 4, we'll actually take a look at Tony Roffey and Todd Maxfield. And row 5, we've got Parry Anastakis and Troy Mortensen in the number 83. Troy had a bit of trouble last week during the race, but hopefully he can't repeat that tonight. Row 6, we'll actually look at Chris Bleakley and Shane Roffey side by side tonight. Row 7, we've got Pete Matson and Steve McLennan out of row 7. So row 8, Adamson John and Michael Latta. Row 9, Rick Sanchez from the US and Luke Keamy, teammate of Adamson John. And Derek Jacobs starting out of the final position at the back of grid on row 10. So we'll see what the boys can do with it. Darren McKenzie will have control of the field when the pace car pulls off, which it will do very shortly. The lights are out. And you can see Derek Jacobs just coming up the rear there, taking his spot in the queue. Good looking field out there tonight. The pace car will pull off this time around. Darren McKenzie will control the field until they cross the line and get the green flag from Barney, the flag marshal. Gary Wellman will probably go hard off the mark here, but Darren McKenzie should get a good start. Adam Malone on the second row, keep an eye on him. He's pretty good at the starts and restarts. And Tyler Stevenson next to him in the number 98 BWT car. in that very distinctive coloured Mustang. And the boys are go. Gary Wellman gets a super start over Darren McKenzie. Darren just didn't seem to go at all. The rest of the field went with him. And Gary's got a fantastic start. He's opened up a couple of car lengths over Darren McKenzie as we look at Adam Malone, Tyler Stevenson and Andy Barber up to 5th. As we look at the whole field, they get through there okay. As we take in the next lap 2, and Gary continues to lead from Darren McKenzie, Tyler Stevenson up to 3rd, and Adam Malone back to 4th. He's battling for that 4th position there against, I believe that's Maxfield, yes, in the number 16 car from Sim Boys. And he's Adam Malone now dropped back a little bit further. Darren McKenzie's lost a couple of spots there. And Maxfield making a big charge on the outside now. And Tyler Stevenson up to 2nd place all over the back of Gary Wellman. So he's definitely getting serious about this, and he's here to let people know he's here to race and he's here to win if he gets the opportunity. So we'll see how it goes side by side with the 2 Sim Boys cars. Todd Maxfield takes the lead away from his teammate Gary Wellman. Wellman just gets a little bit of an upward motion there and a little touch between himself and Tyler Stevenson, who lifts the foot, loses a little bit of momentum, and Darren McKenzie takes advantage of that opportunity, moves himself up into 3rd place, and I think he's taking his teammate Adam Malone with him from Southern Stars. So a great looking field there at the moment. Everybody's still trying hard. A little bit of contact on the wall there as Maxfield opens up a fairly decent lead over his teammate Gary Wellman, who's being accosted at the moment by Tyler Stevenson and Darren McKenzie in behind him. As we take a look out the back of Todd Maxfield's number 16 Mustang, and you can actually see that Tyler Stevenson has gotten past Gary Wellman now, and he's set off after Todd Maxfield, and he's doing a pretty good job of it out there too, as he's certainly here to race. There's no doubt about that. He's making a charge early in that number 98 BWT Mustang with Gary Wellman in behind, and I believe Darren McKenzie, as we take a look out the front window of Tyler Stevenson's Mustang, as he's closed that gap to Todd Maxfield substantially around here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A couple of spots here that you've got to really be careful. Coming out of turn 4, very easy to run wide out of there and make contact with the wall. And Stevenson now side by side with Maxfield. On the charge, big time, is our new driver from the US. And he's certainly not holding back and letting things work themselves out. He wants to be at the front. He wants to lead this race. But Maxfield's certainly not going to allow him to do that just yet. He's putting up a fight on the inside line. Stevenson on the outside. And Gary Wellman following his teammate with Darren McKenzie all over the back of him, now up to the outside to look for a gap and a way through. And he's taking Adam Malone with him. Craig Roffey, our series leader, sits in behind him, rounding out the top 5 at the moment. As we take another view of the back of Maxfield's car along the side of Stevenson's Mustang. And these boys definitely running very close together at the moment. About a car length back to Wellman, and he's got Darren McKenzie to worry about. So it's very interesting what's unfolding here in the early laps of this one, as we see the series rookie Tyler Stevenson absolutely going for it like a dog after his dinner, and Maxfield just fighting to keep that lead spot, and Tyler Stevenson really throwing absolutely everything he can at that number 16 Mustang, leading the race at the moment. We see Chris Bleakley there at the moment in behind Adam Malone, who's got his usual blinking issue, with Craig Roffey in behind him, and he's got Tony Roffey and I think Pariana Starkus in behind him. So bunching up a little bit about mid-pack, but the boys at the front there definitely got it going on. Maxfield driving the wheels off this thing to keep in front of Tyler Stevenson, and Stevenson just moves up to mid-track and decides to come back down a bit. Wellman holds that inside line, looking to take advantage of any draft that he can get. Stevenson goes around the outside, side by side with Maxfield. As they come through turn 1 and into turn 2, Stevenson definitely driving pretty hard there at the moment. He wants the lead of this one. He wants that lap-led bonus point, and he takes the lead away from Maxfield. Very nice drive. And we've actually got it's Troy Mortensen, actually, my mistake, in that number 83 car, and he's up around the outside and pushed himself up into the top 3 at the moment. He's fighting Todd Maxfield for second place, side by side there at the moment, but Stevenson out in front and continuing to lead this one from Maxfield and Mortensen. And we've actually got, I think that's McLennan on the outside in behind Troy Mortensen. Mortensen challenging Stevenson now for the lead of this one, which puts McLennan alongside Maxfield as they cross the line to start another lap and come through the tri-oval into turn 1. And the boys are absolutely throwing everything at this race early with 1 hour and 8 minutes, 57 seconds left on the clock. They're really throwing everything at this race in the early stages. And none of these guys at the front seem to be happy with just marking time and waiting to see how things turn out. They all want to lead. They want to be at the front. Darren McKenzie's gone back a couple of spots now. He sits around about 6th place behind his teammate Adam Malone. As we see Gary Wellman still continuing to fight. He's in 6th. And Richie Sanchez up to 5th place now, in behind those 4 guys battling for it side by side in 2 rows. That's McLennan and Maxfield in front of Richie Sanchez. Stevenson dropping back a little bit now as Mortensen takes the lead of this one. And he's actually got the 88 car of Steve McLennan sitting in there. And Stevenson fighting back into 2nd place again at the moment. But Maxfield in 4th position there behind Steve McLennan as Mortensen continues to lead this one from Tyler Stevenson. So about a car length between Mortensen and Stevenson at the moment. So let's hope I don't get too tongue-tied with those names. And it looks like McLennan's up to 3rd now. And he's got Maxfield on the inside who's fighting back on that low line with Richie Sanchez rounding out the top 5. In behind him, I think we've got Gary Wellman and then Darren McKenzie. So that's your top 5 there at the moment. Mortensen, Stevenson, Maxfield, McLennan and Sanchez. So the boys really going hard at it here at the moment. There's appears to be no real strategies at the pointy end of this field. The boys want to lead, and that's just the way it is. Gary Wellman quite happy to sit back there in 6th at the moment. He's got his charge. He got a fantastic start off the line on that initial green flag. Stevenson fighting back on the inside against both McLennan and Mortensen. So we'll see what he can do with this as he continues to hold that low line, which might give him an advantage over this lap through the next couple of corners. We'll wait and see what happens. But the top 5 unchanged at this point. The top 6 unchanged at this point. And McKenzie and then Adam Malone have swapped positions again for 7th and 8th. Chris Bleakley on the inside there in the 1-9 Racing Mobile, that orange and purple car. Very distinctive colour, that Commodore. And the boys, a little bit of movement there from Todd Maxfield. But he's definitely determined to actually get back to the front as he takes 3rd and Stevenson drops back a little bit. But he's now nosed his way back in front of Maxfield. So this is actually going to be an arm wrestle here. They're going to be changing positions back and forward all over the place here at the moment. But Mortensen able to hold the lead of this one over Steve McLennan. And then Todd Maxfield up to a clear 3rd, challenging McLennan now for 2nd. And Stevenson in behind in 4th place with Richie Sanchez behind him. Then Gary Wellman, Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. As we take a look further back in the field, and we'll see what's happening with the mid-pack and beyond, as Craig Roffey and Tony Roffey, then Shane Roffey and Pariana Starkis. So there's the 4 road cars running almost nose to tail there at the moment. with just about a car length between them. And there's a good view there from Andy Barber. We can see the field, most of the field in front of him. And the boys definitely having a good crack at this one. Luke Keamy in front as Andy moves up onto the outside line, challenges Luke Keamy for that position from Stone Cold Racing. And there's a lot of action going on here on the track at the moment. And the boys definitely having a good crack. Adamson John has dropped to rear of field. Derek Jacobs now has moved up through the field. He's sitting about 2/3 the way through and having a good crack at it there. 11th position for Derek Jacobs at the moment as he, I think he's just passed Tony Roffey for that. And Luke Keamy in 16th. And Craig Roffey back to 10th, our series leader at the moment. Derek Jacobs making a move as he moves another couple of spots up. He passes Roffey and Bleakley, and now Adam Malone he's challenging. And we'll see how he goes on the outside of Malone there. But Malone holds that low line, and Jacobs having a good crack at it on the outside here with Bleakley in behind him, followed by Craig Roffey, Tony Roffey, and Shane Roffey. As we go back to the leaders now to see what's actually happening, and we've got Stevenson back in front over Maxfield, Sanchez, Wellman, and Mortensen dropped back to 5th place at the moment. So as I said, a bit of an arm wrestle. There's a lot of positions jockeying around here at the moment. Darren McKenzie sticking with Gary Wellman on the low line there at the moment, in behind Richie Sanchez, who now gets his nose in front. So two Americans at the front of the field, Richie Sanchez and Tyler Stevenson, with Maxfield and Wellman from Simboys looking to actually change that situation. Wellman jumps up behind Maxfield on the outside and then back down to the low line as they come through the turn, and he takes Darren McKenzie from Southern Stars with him. We're going to go to a quick ad break at the moment. Oh, don't go away. We've got action aplenty here at the moment in the Oz Oval Summer Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Back in a minute. Welcome back to the Oz Oval. V8 Supercars Oval Racing Summer Series 24-25 as we take in round 4 from Charlotte Motor Speedway of a 6-round series, a 6-round fortnightly series, I should say. And we've got Richie Sanchez continuing to lead this one. A lot of positional changes during the ad break as Todd Maxfield's moved back up to second place, and he's taken his teammate Gary Wellman with him. And then Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone in 4th and 5th from Southern Stars, with Tyler Stevenson dropping back to 6th position. And I think he's actually got Chris Bleakley all over the back of him. So a lot of positional changes. I think our record for the series was 40. I think it's 40 lead changes through the 75 minutes. So we will see what the boys can do with this. We've had a lot of lead changes back and forward, and we've only had 17 minutes or 16 minutes of racing. So we'll see what the boys can bring out of this one. But, yep, a lot of muscling up going on out there at the moment as the boys continue to compete and swap positions. And the lead changes alone have been pretty impressive so far. And everybody wants to be at the pointy end of this one at the moment in the early stages. Pardon me, set the pace. I'll just grab a mouthful of water. Sorry, folks. Yeah, my throat hasn't quite gotten better from the cold I had last week, so we'll do all right. We'll get there. And we continue to see Sanchez over Maxfield, Wellman, McKenzie, and Malone. That's your top 5. Chris Bleakley, then Stevenson. We've got, I think, Andy Barber back up in the top 10 there at the moment. Look like the red, black, and white Mustang with Mish's XL Garage all over the side of it. And it was him, actually, yep. But in front of him now is Shane Roffey, and he's got Steve McLennan on the outside of him. So with Craig Roffey and Troy Mortensen, who led the race a little while ago, and he's sitting right back at the moment in around about, or just outside the top 10. And we're just taking a look at that there. McLennan is in 10th place. So that would put Mortensen in about 11th or 12th at the moment. But he's side by side with McLennan. So Roffey absolutely, taking his time with this one, I thought. He's obviously running a strategy there at the moment. And it's worked for him in the last 3 races where he got 2 wins and I believe a podium. So it's worked out pretty well for him as far as the lead of the championship and the points are concerned. And he's going to continue that tonight. But Shane Roffey in the orange and black road car, definitely challenging McLennan there. And Troy Mortensen's dropped back another couple of spots. So Troy's forward and back tonight. So we'll see how he progresses as the race goes on with 56:42 left on the race clock at the moment at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 1.5 miles, and the boys going hard at it at the moment. There's a lot of speed, a lot of positional changes, and a lot of challenges for the top 5 positions at the moment, as Stevenson is alongside Malone there at the moment, or 5th place, and gets his nose in front, and he's up to 5th behind Darren McKenzie, drops down to that low line again, which has worked for him so far, and that pushes Adam Malone back to 6th. And he's got Chris Bleakley still all over the back of him with Andy Barber in behind Chris Bleakley. So a lot of competition going on here at the moment. Some nice, clean green flag racing, and we'll see how the boys go with this. Expecting them not to really necessarily come in for a while yet. We're only on lap 37 at the moment, so it could be a few laps, and it could be about 10. Expecting them to get 40-something laps out of a fuel load, but some of them might actually manage to stretch that. But with the hard competition that's been going on in this first 20 minutes or so of racing, it's definitely, I expect them to use a bit more fuel, and Roffey making a charge now at the moment, and he's got some damage there. So I'd say he's actually come in contact with the rear of somebody at some point, because it's noticeable damage on the front of that. You can see there's scraped some paint off and bent that front bar. So not quite sure what might have happened to Craig there. But I'd say it's probably just a bit of bump drafting there, and he's maybe come together a little bit too hard with someone. Can't see any rear damage on too many people out there at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I doubt very much it'll affect Craig or the car. He's obviously got plenty of pace in that at the moment because he's sitting just outside the top 5, I think, there at the moment. Actually, he's back in about 9th position, 10th position, something like that. So we'll take a look at how he progresses through the field at the moment. But Rick Sanchez continuing to lead this from Maxfield, Wellman and Darren McKenzie with Stevenson in 5th place. Still trying to hang on to those front runners at the moment, but he's doing a hell of a job in his first round of the series and his first race with Oz Oval. Mackenzie's very experienced though, and he's going to be well aware that Stevenson's there and wanting to get past. Stevenson did lead the race for a while not so long ago, but Sanchez making a fist of this at the moment and managing to hang on with a couple of car lengths between himself and Todd Maxfield from Simboys in that number 16 grey Mustang. Wellman in the 45 right in behind him, his teammate, and then the Southern Stars 02 car of Darren McKenzie, then the 98 of Tyler Stevenson. That rounds out your top 5 at the moment. But Maxfield's closed right up on Richie Sanchez there at the moment in that number 5 car. Continuing to lead though, and he had a hell of a run last round, but ended up coming together with somebody just on that last lap or two. I think just before they crossed the line actually. And iRacing thought that he'd actually had too many incident points and bumped him off. So yeah, that was a bit of a shame for Richie. He'd done such a good job to put himself in a podium or even a win position. So he'll be looking to redeem himself for that tonight and see what he can do with it here. But a lot of racing left to go, 52 minutes and 48 seconds on the clock as I speak. Richie opens up another couple of car lengths on Todd Maxfield. And we've got Tyler Stevenson has moved back up to 3rd. We've got Wellman and Roffey going at it. An old story, that one. Series 1 saw Gary Wellman and Craig Roffey constantly doing battle as Roffey moves up in behind Stevenson, and Wellman challenges for that 3rd position. But Stevenson's not willing to give it up and noses back in front. So 3rd place fairly safe there as he moves down in front of Wellman and cuts off that avenue for Gary Wellman to not necessarily take advantage of anything. But Roffey up into 5th place ahead of Chris Bleakley, with Darren McKenzie dropping back to 6th position at the moment. As we take a look out of the over the bonnet of Gary Wellman's car in behind Tyler Stevenson in that distinctive coloured Mustang for BWT in the number 98 car. Wellman goes to the outside there and challenges. I don't think he's going to get it done out there. Stevenson's pretty comfortable down the bottom in 3rd place. But Maxfield certainly holding his spot in 2nd behind Richie Sanchez at the moment. Taking a look at the back of the field there, Tony Roffey's dropped back a little bit. You can see, actually it's not Tony Roffey, sorry, it's one of the full bore cars. Possibly Chris Latta. Not quite sure. But yeah, they're taking up the rear of the field at the moment. Long way to go though, and it could all be strategy. So we take a look at what's happening back there. Yep, there's Michael Latta in the number 60. And we've got the race leader in, Richie Sanchez, in the pits at the moment. So that'll be a fuel stop. Not sure whether he'll take tyres just yet. But he's got plenty up his sleeve, so he's got another 3 sets if he wants to change and put some fresh rubber on. Just wait to see what happens. So Adam St. John, I believe it is, that's actually coming with him there. So the lead will change and it goes to Todd Maxfield. And now Darren McKenzie has taken the lead off Maxfield with Wellman in 3rd, then Craig Roffey and Steve McLennan. As we see side by side, Maxfield and McKenzie. As Troy Mortensen now enters the pits, so he'll be in for his fuel stop. And we're looking at lap 48. So yeah, I was pretty close to it there. And I said it was maybe about 10 laps, and that was the case, obviously. Peter Matson it is, in the number 173. I don't know how I could get that wrong. It's a bit hard to see that number, probably. And Mackenzie, our Wellman leads, and it looks like Mackenzie is actually pitting because he's dropped off the top 5 there with Roffey, McLennan, Malone and Barber. Now your top 5. Seeing Luke Keamy in the 166 car there ahead of Derek Jacobs. Darren McKenzie has definitely dropped back, but I've got a feeling he's going to pit. We'll just have to keep an eye on that and see how it goes. Andy Barber has entered the pits. And I believe that's the 88 of goodness me, Steve McLennan in the 88 car, is it? Okay. So these boys taking on their fuel. Where I expect to see the rest of the field coming in the next lap or so. Never ceases to amaze me how some of these guys manage to stretch their fuel out for a noticeable number of laps. But there we go. And the boys coming in like a flock of seagulls. Most of the Rogue boys are in. Luke Keamy is in. And that leaves, I think Adam Malone's in the pits, but it's got him as leading the race at the moment. And we see Chris Bleakley back to 7th. So at the moment, we're seeing Malone, McKenzie, Wellman, Roffey, and Roffey. That's Craig Roffey and Tony Roffey. But they're both in the pits at the moment. So that will change in the next minute or so. And I think that's just looking to see who was it that just simply pulled into the pits there. It was a single number, but I didn't. It was Darren McKenzie. So McKenzie in the pits now. And everybody, I believe, has pitted. Adam Malone has now left the pits. And he's gone out behind Luke Keamy. So those positions will change. I believe that that's Peter Matson ahead of Stevenson, and then Richie Sanchez and Andy Barber travelling in a foursome. Oh, Andy, don't know whether he touched the wall there or just overcorrected. Sudden move to the inside for Andy Barber, and he's got Cliff Bleakley behind him. And that's Mackenzie leaving the pits now, so he's done his pit stop. So I think that now is everybody has pitted. It's still showing Malone as leading with Matson in second, Stevenson, Sanchez and Barber. But I'm trying to figure out how Malone could be leading that. So that would put Matson. Malone, I thought he already came into the pits, but he might have overshot his pit bay, but he's in now. So he's given up the lead. And Peter Matson leads this one from Tyler Stevenson, Richie Sanchez, Chris Bleakley, up to 4th, and Gary Wellman rounding out the top 5 at the moment. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, everything simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future. If you love
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallenVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallenVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallenVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallenVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway for Oz Oval's Summer Series Round 4 as we see more positional changes and lead changes here. Richie Sanchez and Peter Matson going hard at it at the moment, and Chris Bleakley all over the back of Richie Sanchez trying to give him a push, and a couple of times there we thought it was going to come to pain, but it hasn't actually done that, and Stevenson back on the inside. So currently at the moment we've got Sanchez nosed in front of Matson. They've swapped positions again. Bleakley, Stevenson, and Todd Maxfield from Simboys rounding out the top 5 at the moment. So plenty of good racing going on here. The boys did their green flag pit stop, and they're all back out there and absolutely assaulting this circuit. Side-by-side racing, just fantastic stuff at the front at this pointy end. Bleakley really letting everybody know that he's here to race hard too. So he's sitting in third position at the moment. Sanchez has taken the lead back, and Matson dropped back to second, but he's got a challenge again coming through here as they come through the tri-oval into turn 1. Matson's definitely all over the place with Richie Sanchez there at the moment, side by side, really challenging for the lead of this one. They're both going very hard at it with Bleakley in behind them, and the rest of the boys have gone back to single file behind these top 3 here at the moment, with Maxfield up to 4th, followed by Craig Roffey, and then Stevenson, Wellman, and then I think Shane Roffey in behind him there. Look, lots of hard racing going on. And good day to Nets Pie in the socials there at the moment, cheering on Richie Sanchez in the number 5 car as we watch him just managing to hold on to that lead, not by a whole lot, but he's there and he moves down onto that inside line. And Matson has no choice but to go side by side with Chris Bleakley, and noses back in front to second place. Maxfield is quite happy to watch all this going on in front of him. Bleakley now moves ahead of Matson and trying to... there we go. Yeah, he gets loose. I think he's caught it. And he just loses a lot of momentum and drops himself back to about midfield there at the moment. Tried to drop down a little bit too far. Came in contact with Peter Matson, who's... just managing to still hold on to second place. Todd Maxfield up to 3rd. Then Craig Roffey and Stevenson and Wellman going at it side by side for 5th place, with Parry Anastakis from Rogue Sim Sports in the following position in 6th, I think that is. And 36 minutes left on the clock. We've got some great racing here so far, folks. No cautions yet. Don't want to jinx the boys. But we've had some fantastic green flag racing. 1 pit stop so far, and that would have been the fuel stop. And I believe the boys, or at least some of them, would have thrown more tyres on since they had them there to use. And back out and back at it as we go through the field at the moment. Sanchez from Matson, Maxfield, Roffey and Stevenson round out your top 5. Wellman, Anastakis, Roffey, Barber and, Tony Roffey, and then Shane Roffey rounds out the top 10. And you had the entire field up on the screen there while I was actually calling that. So hopefully you saw where you saw your favourite driver. We'll get that back up for you so you can see where your driver's located at the moment. Chris Bleakley back to 11th after that little coming together with Matson. Darren McKenzie back to 12th. Steve McLennan. Derek Jacobs in 14th after starting rear of field. Michael Ladder. Troy Mortensen back to 16th after leading earlier on. Adamson John, Luke Keamy, and Adam Malone. So that is your 19-car field, and some fantastic racing going on out there at the moment. Adam back 15 spots from where he started on the second row. So a little bit of a shame there for Adam. I think the green flag pit stop didn't do him any favours, really. But we keep watching what's going on here with the Southern Stars boys, Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie. Nose to tail there at the moment, as you saw. And Richie Sanchez continues to lead over Todd Maxfield. And we're just having a look to see what has happened to Peter Matson at the moment. Not quite sure what's going on. He's disappeared and he's in the pits at the moment. So just wondering what might have happened there. He might have had bent steering or something out of that contact with Chris Bleakley. He's come in for a quick repair and he'll get back out at the moment. Real shame for Peter Matson. That's dropped him right back to 18th position at the moment, ahead of Adam Malone. So what a shame for Peter Matson after such a strong run, leading and running in the top 2 or 3 there for quite some time after the first round of pit stops. But he'll re-enter the track and he'll keep going. We've got 33 minutes on the clock, but unfortunately he's going to go down a lap here. He's got the front pack for this race breathing right down his neck at the moment, so hopefully he can keep a bit of gap there between them as we take a look from the back of I think that's Steve McLennan's car. That's back of Sanchez, sorry, and he's got Maxfield and Roffey in behind him. So Sanchez leading this one from Craig Roffey, Todd Maxfield, Tyler Stevenson and Andy Barber. That's your top 5. And Peter Matson desperately trying to stay ahead of the leaders and keep a slight gap there because he does not want to go down a lap. But keep in mind, though, if he does, and there's a caution, he'll actually get the lucky dog. So he'll get that lap back, which would probably be good for him because at the moment he's really pushing hard to stay in front of the leaders, and this pack definitely has the advantage of the draft at the moment. So they will travel faster than him, but he managed to stay ahead of them so far. Just a matter of how long it takes them to catch him. A lot of positional changes in this one. As we've stated before, that first 20 minutes or so was pretty hard going and pretty intense stuff. Richie Sanchez continues to lead, though, in the number 5 Mustang from Todd Maxfield, and Craig Roffey with Stevenson alongside Andy Barber now. Chris Bleakley back up into the top 6 or 7, and he's got Gary Wellman on his inside. So Chris Bleakley managing to fight his way back after being in that top 3 and coming together with Matson. No caution from that one. They both managed to catch it, and some great driving there from both those guys to avoid an incident and bringing out the pace car. As Matson continues to stay ahead of the leaders, which is Richie Sanchez at this point, with Todd Maxfield on the outside, and then Craig Roffey in behind him, and Stevenson in behind Richie Sanchez. But I don't think it's going to be too long before they catch him. He's managing to keep a gap there, but they've got to be carrying more speed than him. So it's really, I think, only a matter of time, unfortunately. But as I said, if he goes back a lap and there's a caution, he'll get the lap back as long as he's the first car on the lead on the lap down. He'll get the lucky dog for that, and that'll put him at rear of field back on the lead lap. So it's not all doom and gloom for Peter Matson at the moment, but he's fighting pretty hard to stay in front of the pack. And we've got some fantastic racing going on here. Richie Sanchez having a great run tonight. He had a good run last race, but as I said, it all came apart on that very last lap for him, and didn't actually end up being able to capitalise on the good drive that he'd put in the position that he was in. So Hopefully better things for Richie tonight as we take a look at Stevenson in second and Maxfield back to third with Roffey and Wellman side by side for that fourth and fifth spot. Bleakley and Barber in behind them running side by side as well, and Parianastakis in behind them. So some fantastic racing and a lot of positional swapping going on here. 29 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock, and we're up to lap 85 at this point. So a lot of laps going, and we're probably looking at around about 125 to 130 laps all up, and we'll just see how we go. If the boys can continue this and go green and clean all the way to the end, that'll be pretty interesting stuff with some fantastic racing going on. As they begin to close that gap to Peter Matson, who's not able to, he's able to keep in front of him, but he's not able to maintain the gap that he had as the pack manages to catch him. And it's getting right down there now. And at the moment, I think Matson's going to have to move to the outside and let these boys through. It's pretty much inevitable that they're going to put a lap on him. So we'll have to see how he deals with that at the moment. But continuing on that inside low line, and he's pulled to the apron now to let the field past, and he'll drop back in there. It'll put him a lap down on the field, but as I said, if there's a caution, he'll get that back. As long as he's the first car one lap down, he'll get the lucky dog. So, as I said, not all doom and gloom for Pete. It still looks good. He's still got a hope. And 28 minutes and 30 seconds race time left on the clock as Richie Sanchez continues to lead from Tyler Stevenson now, with Craig Roffey up into third place. He's battling for that third position with Andy Barber and Todd Maxfield. And he'll be, he's battling Stevenson now for second, gets his nose in front. Steven just gets a little bit loose up into that mid-track position as the boys go around him, and he's dropped back a couple of spots there at the moment. So Maxfield and Roffey battling for that second position. Richie Sanchez continues to lead as we take a look at the Southern Stars boys. That's Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie just ahead of Troy Mortensen, and it looks like Steve McLennan in behind him in that Mustang. So they're doing some good racing at the back of the field and through the mid-pack. At the front there, at the pointy end, very, very competitive. And it's going to be hard for these boys without a caution to really make any forward progress from where they are at the moment. But as you can see, side by side for the first three rows of this, and then Wellman in behind all that, waiting to see how it's going to unfold. And this could be a dangerous part of the race as we've got the front six cars side by side in two rows on the inside and the outside. And Wellman managing to hold that seventh position and just watch what is going on. Stevenson now back to sixth, Bleakley up to fifth, and he's actually in behind Andy Barber, so side by side battling with Todd Maxfield as Craig Roffey and Sanchez battle for the lead of this one. And Sanchez has moved off onto the apron. I wonder why he's actually done that. Is he pitting? Now, Ricky Sanchez now pitting. He may not have taken tyres in that green flag stop, only fuel. And now with about 90 laps on those tyres, he'll be feeling it pretty hard. And he's taken Derek Jacobs with him into the pits. So they'll top it up. They'll throw some fresh rubber on there. And lap 92. And we are down to 26 minutes race time as we see one of the full bore boys coming in as well. We go back to the front of the field. Craig Roffey leads from Andy Barber and Tyler Stevenson. And they've got Chris Bleakley and Todd Maxfield in behind them. I see Darren McKenzie has moved back up there side by side battling with Gary Wellman at this point. So lots of action going on out there at the moment. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to pay some sponsors. So it's over to Kobe to take us to the break. We'll be back shortly. Stick around.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards...
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You served and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Oz Oval Summer Series 24-25, round 4. And we're seeing some fantastic racing. The boys have just gone through another cycle of pit stops. And we can see there's one car still in the pits, but the boys have gone through. We've got 3 road cars at the front now with that cycle of pit stops under the green flag. Shane Roffey in front of Tony Roffey and Craig Roffey, but Gary Wellman leads this from the 3 road cars. Chris Bleakley is in 5th place at the moment, and I do believe that unfortunately Pete Matson looks like going another lap down. So, and with a clean green race at the moment, he's not getting a chance to pull any of those laps back. So he's pushing hard, he's going hard, but that's the leader of the race in behind him, Gary Wellman. And we take a look at the back of the field. Adamson John, Luke Keamy, Pete Matson and Adam Malone. We're looking through the field as we go. We'll get the tower up for you so you can see where your favourite drivers are and just take a look at where everybody's positioned at the moment. So if we take a look at the rear of field, Luke Keamy and Adamson John, teammates from Full Bore and Stone Cold Racing. Peter Matson, unfortunately, he's actually showing as being on the lead lap, which is possibly due to that round of pit stops. He might have picked a lap up, but he's going to go back down again. Malone, Sanchez back to 15th, unfortunately, after needing to stop. Michael Ladder, Mortensen in 13th. Oh, we're under caution, folks. So something's actually happened out there on track, and we do get a caution. So the boys will pit again, and we think we actually know what's caused this. We're going to go to an action replay. We've got Troy Mortensen, I think, all over the back of Richie Sanchez, and Derek Jacobs in behind him. So we're going to take a look and see what might have happened here. This might explain why Richie is actually so far down, and he gets a tag from Troy Mortensen and spins him. Now, it looks like Richie's managed to keep it off the fence and got no real damage, so he'll rejoin. But, Troy Mortensen, a little bit of a tag there on Richie Sanchez, and that's brought out the caution flag. That's the reason why. He's given him a bump draft on the left-hand side, and it's just simply turned the number 5 Mustang. So unfortunate for Richie, and a bit unfortunate for Troy there as well, because that'll cop him a 5-point penalty in the race review. And since I've got to do the race review and he's now brought out a caution, I might even triple that, just for the sake of causing me the trouble of having to go and do a race review. So we'll see how that works out, what sort of mood I'm in when we get to it. But Troy's been put on notice. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a tag there, nothing malicious in it. And fortunately, Richie suffered no real damage out of that. It's actually probably worked out for him because he was down in 15th after that. And now we've got the boys get a chance to actually pit under caution. And being down to under 15 minutes of race time on the clock and lap 110, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a full tank of gas and a fresh set of rubber. They've only had a chance to put 2 sets on, so still 2 sets up their sleeve. And Shane Roffey has ended up at the front with this one. through the caution period with Tony Roffey and Craig Roffey in behind him. And yes, they are all family, obviously, from Rogue Sim Esports. Chris Bleakley up to 4th, and Parry Anastakis, the other road car tonight, up to 5th place. And the missing equation there would be Rick Vincent, who's not with us tonight from Rogue. So wherever Rick is and whatever he's up to, I hope you're well, and I hope you're doing it and enjoying it. So, yeah, good on you, Rick. We'll catch you back hopefully next round. And Luke Keamy from Stone Cold is in the pits there at the moment, taking care of what he needs to do under caution. And here comes Adam Malone into the pits in the number 3 car. So Roffey, Bleakley and Anastakis. So we've got 4 road cars in the top 5. And Chris Bleakley from 1-9 Racing. So very packed there at the front of road cars. Darren McKenzie up in the 3rd row alongside Parry Anastakis. So 6th place for DMAC. And there's Pete Matson there. And hopefully that's done him a favour and he can get back on the lead lap. And it says he is. Adamson John is down 2 and Luke Keamy down 3, unfortunately. So we'll see. I'd say Pete Matson probably got a lucky dog on that, which has helped him to remain. Adam Malone got the lucky dog. I didn't realise he was a lap down, but yep, there you go. So Adam Malone got the lucky dog. He's now back on the lead lap, I believe. So the pace car will pull off and Shane Roffey will have control of the field, and he gets the green flag from Barney the Marshal, and he's gone. Great start from Shane Roffey, and he's taken Craig Roffey with him. Tony Roffey got an okay start, but so did the rest of the field behind him. So Parry Anastakis and Chris Bleakley in behind Tony Roffey there, and that rounds out your top 5 with Darren McKenzie and Gary Wellman in behind him, and Andy Barber following them through. So Craig Roffey, our series leader, winner of rounds 1 and 2, and podium getter for rounds 3. He currently leads this one with only under 12, nearly 12 minutes on the clock. And we're up at around about, I think, lap 114 or so. And in that 11 minutes, we'll probably get about another 15 laps in. So we'll see how it goes. As long as we stay green and clean, everything will be fine. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the teammates from Rogue. There's Tony Roffey and Parry Anastakis. Just a bit of a touch. But it's enough to actually see Tony Roffey drop a couple of spots back in the field through loss of momentum, whereas Parry Anastakis has really benefited out of that one. And he's now up to 2nd place between his teammates Craig Roffey and Shane Roffey. And we've got Gary Wellman, a little bit of movement there in the 45 Mustang from Simboys. And Darren McKenzie in behind Chris Bleakley there in the 1-9 purple and orange Commodore. So some fantastic close racing here at the moment. The boys are all bunched up after that short caution period, and really putting the pedal to the metal, showing that they're bunched up again. Anything can happen. So we'll keep an eye on this one, folks, with 10 minutes on the clock. This could be very interesting. There's a little bit of movement there between Shane Roffey and Chris Bleakley. Bleakley's going to try and go down between them, but there's not enough space there. And Shane Roffey just moves down and then back up to mid-track. Bleakley decides it's not the best place to go, and he's going to stick in behind Shane Roffey, try and follow the 2 road cars through with Parry Anastakis on that low line with Gary Wellman and Todd Maxfield, both from Simboys. Tyler Stevenson, who's had a pretty good run tonight, he's sitting back there in 7th position, but he's got Richie Sanchez back up there in 8th. So he's in the front 4 rows again, Richie Sanchez, after that little coming together with Troy Mortensen. So we've only had 1 single caution tonight, folks. Not sure how many lead changes. We'll try and get that information for you, but I'd say it's been quite a lot. And Roffey continues to lead from Anastakis. There you go. We've had 22 lead changes tonight, 1 caution for 2 laps. 116 laps completed, 9.5 minutes of racing left. And this is where it's going to get hot, and this is where it's going to get very sensitive and dangerous round through here. The boys are bunched up in 2 rows, inside, outside. They all want the lead this one. They know it's getting down to the wire, and there's a big fight on in that front pack. Those top 8 or 10 cars really fighting for a position there at the moment. And Steve McLennan in amongst all that with Darren McKenzie behind him. I can see Derek Jacobs in amongst that. He's throwing his hat in the ring. And Tony Roffey trying to fight his way back after coming together with his teammate, Parry Anastakis. So some fantastic racing here. It's all very close at the moment. And there's a little bit of movement in the field. You can see the cars wiggling left and right. And they do that because of the aero. And just as they move in and out of the draft, the cars just get a bit loose. And these cars get very loose, believe me. It doesn't take much to upset them. So side by side, the Rogue boys, and it's Craig Roffey with Parry Anastakis on that inside line, and I think he's going to nose in front of his teammate Craig Roffey, but not so far. Roffey's managing to hold him off, and he's got his teammate Shane Roffey with him. So the 3 road cars at the front there. Wellman wants a piece of this. Bleakley's not given up. They're 3 wide through there with Stevenson, Maxfield and Bleakley. Now they drop back to 2 wide, and Stevenson drops in behind Todd Maxfield in that 16 Mustang. It's looking very, very dangerous there at the moment. And Richie Sanchez trying to fight his way back to where he was earlier when he was leading for quite some time. So very, very good racing here at the moment. And the boys are putting on a fantastic show. If you're enjoying this, give them a thumbs up on the broadcast through Quasi Esports. And the series brought to you by Everything Simulated and Inline Inside Lane Productions. And thanks very much for their support in this. Inside Lane Productions taking care of the broadcasts, and Everything Simulated sponsoring the plaques or trophies for the end of season, as they did with Series 1. And they were fantastic. They really were beautiful, and the boys were very happy to get their hands on them. So we're very, very close here, very tight at the moment. There's not a lot of room in there. Not a lot of racing room being given here at the moment, as these front 4 or 5 rows really pushing hard with 7 minutes on the clock. A lot of movement in the field. And we've got Gary Wellman pushing his way to the front ahead of Parry Anastakis as they go 3 wide. And Todd Maxfield collides with Parry Anastakis, and we're going to caution once again. Just the slightest touch between Maxfield and Anastakis, and it looks like Maxfield has paid the price for that one. We're going to go to the action replay in just a moment, folks, and see that all over again. But you saw it right. We were looking right at it when it happened, and it's going to be interesting to see what Maxfield could do. I said it was a dangerous part of the race with 7 minutes on the clock. We're down to less than 6.5, and here we go. Chris Bleakley, bit of movement there, and he moves back to the outside. And Anastakis still up in front of Wellman, but Anastakis will move up the track a bit. Wellman will take advantage of this. As you watch, Wellman will move to the low side of the track and go around Anastakis, and Maxfield, I believe, will follow Wellman through, and that's when he comes together with Anastakis. So we'll keep an eye on that for the moment. It's going to happen just here. There goes Wellman. He's certainly making the move there at the front as they go 3 wide, and Maxfield goes with him. Anastakis doesn't realise he's there and moves back to the low line to drop in behind Gary Wellman. Mistimes it and was not clear. So Anastakis onto Maxfield. And Todd has paid the price there. No fault of his own. It was just a simple miscalculation. It happens. But that's also involved a couple of the other cars. I think that's Michael Ladder and Steve McLennan that have got some minor damage out of that, but they're lucky to get away with that and get back into position in the race. So there we go. Gary Wellman, smart move, great move by him, and he's taken Tyler Stevenson with him to the front. Parry Anastakis up to 3rd, and Richie Sanchez up to 4th. We'll take a quick break while the boys are under caution, and we'll be back in a minute for the last couple of minutes of the race. Stick around.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future. If you love the thrill of racing,
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service interests and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Oz Oval Summer Series 24-25. We are in round 4 and just wrapping up the caution. They'll go green this time around. Gary Wellman will lead them away. We'll see what sort of a start Tyler Stevenson gets because I know Gary's probably going to get a good start. As they come down, he's got control of the field. Richie Sanchez up inside the top 4, and I think that actually is Troy Mortensen up into the top 4 as well. And they go green, and Gary Wellman gets a fantastic start in the 45 Simboys Mustang, and the rest of the field goes together. The next 4 to finish out the top 5 get a better start, but Derek Jacobs there in 6th place. So Richie Sanchez up to 2nd, Stevenson back in behind him now, and we've got Michael Ladder, I think that is, in the Mustang there, alongside Troy Mortensen, and Ladder will actually take the position off him in the number 60 car. And that's the white flag lap, so we are now going to go all the way to the flag, and we'll see what happens at the moment. We've got Wellman over Stevenson, over Sanchez, over Latter, and we're 3 wide behind that with Mortensen, Barber, and Jacobs. So there's a pack there. Latter's dropped into their clutches, and we are Stevenson into the lead over Wellman as they're going to cross the line, and Michael Ladder has come together with somebody behind him there. And I think Stevenson has actually won this. Stevenson over Wellman, over Sanchez, over Barber, over Jacobs in the top 5. And I think that was Craig Roffey and Michael Ladder sitting there on the side of the track. see if we can get a look at what happened there. We're not quite sure what took place, but they were probably in a bunch of 6 cars, 3 to 4 wide there, so something was bound to give. Tyler Stevenson takes victory in round 4. And we've got Michael Ladder and Craig Roffey. So Ladder down on the inside in front of Derek Jacobs. He gets a bit of a nudge, but Lewson catches it. And I think he actually got another tag from someone and speared across the track to the right and took out Craig Roffey, our series leader. So that will have a bearing on the championship standings, I would assume. So, wow, what a finish. So Tyler, the rookie, wins at Charlotte Motor Speedway in round 4. His first race in the series, his first race with Oz Oval, and takes victory. What a fantastic night for Tyler Stevenson in the number 98 BWT Mustang. And from Gary Wellman and Rick Sanchez, Andy Barber 4th, and Derek Jacobs brings it home 5th. So another top 5 for Derek Jacobs. Great stuff for him. And right place at the wrong time because he actually was the one that gave Michael Ladder a bit of a tap. So we take a look at the top 10. Tyler Stevenson. And Tyler Stevenson first over Gary Wellman second, and Rick Sanchez rounds out our podium. Both the guys from Texas and the US. Then Andy Barber in 4th, Derek Jacobs 5th, Troy Mortensen 6th, Tony Roffey 7th, Chris Bleakley in 8th, Peter Matson up to 9th, Steve McLennan rounds out the top 10. In 11th place, as we flick across to the next page, we got Shane Roffey, Michael Ladder in 12th after that incident at the end, Craig Roffey in 13th after that unfortunate coming together. Darren McKenzie 14th, Parry Anastakis 15th after run so strongly right towards the end and looking like a podium. Adam Malone 16th, Adamson John 17th, Todd Maxfield 18th after a sad coming together and an incident for him, and Luke Keamy in 19th place, 25 laps down. So that's the entire field there tonight, folks. What a race. We will take in an ad break. We'll come back shortly with our podium and do the post-race interviews. Back in a minute.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Welcome back to the Oz Oval Summer Series 24-25 at round 4, Charlotte Motor Speedway. And what a night it's been for the Americans tonight. We've got the rookie has taken victory, and another one in third place. So congratulations on getting on the podium after an up and down evening, I suppose. Richie Sanchez, congrats.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was a fun race. I started in the back and drove to the front, and then went to the back again, and then came back to the front.
Well,
it's pretty exciting.
Started 17th, led 46 laps, had that coming together with Troy Mortensen that pushed you back to like 15th or something, and you fought your way back again and towards the closing stages of the race to get third place and sit on the podium. So that's a bit of a drive, mate.
Yeah, what got me back there too is I messed up on my pit stop. I forgot to hit tires and sat there and they didn't change tires, so I had to wait for that. So that put me back. And
I had a feeling there may have been something like that when we saw you come in and be the first car for the second round of pit stops.
Yeah,
it seemed a little early.
Well, no, I usually do pretty good with my pit stops. I just forgot the tires. And once I got in there and was getting gas and everything, then I noticed that I'd missed tires. And I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and check them because ain't no good going out there with the old tires. And so that put me back. And
yeah, I know Charlotte can be a little bit hard on the rubber sometimes, especially when you're driving hard. And there was certainly a lot of hard driving that first third to half of the race. There was a lot of positional changes, and everybody was at the front end was pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, and it started pushing at the end of your gas run there. So having to lift, even if you were leading there going into 3, lift a little bit to get it to hook up on the turn.
Well, it was nice to see you at that in that position and not actually have disappointment at the end there like you did last round, because you had a pretty good drive a couple of weeks ago, and then right on the last lap you ended up coming together with somebody, and incident points actually put you off the podium. So so much better finish tonight. Enjoyed the drive, did you?
Oh yeah, a blast.
Yeah, there's some great side-by-side racing.
I gotta go back and watch it now, see how it looked on TV. It looked pretty good to me.
Yeah,
my seat.
Well, there was a lot of green flag racing and a lot of side-by-side stuff, mate. So, and as I said, you led 46 laps, so you had a pretty good run there for a while. But up and down through the field a couple of times with pit stops and contact. then of course putting yourself back in a position to get back on the podium. So yeah, that you can tick that one. That's just about in the W column, I think.
Yeah.
Mate, you want to give a shout out to anybody while you got the chance?
Just shout out to my wife. She's on there. She's in the chat. That's Netsby there. Shout out to we got a girlfriend there in Sydney, and hope she's feeling good. Shout out to Michelle out there.
All right, no worries at all. Look, mate, congratulations again. Great to have you back with us, and what a great night. So congratulations again, Richie Sanchez, and we look forward to seeing you when you're able to get back for another round in a couple of weeks or whatever. We've got 2 rounds left. 2 weeks we go to Auto Club, and then 2 weeks after that, for the final round, we go to Daytona. And it's a track I know that you're very familiar with. So,
oh yeah, sounds fun.
No worries then. Thanks very much, Rick, and we hope to see you back again soon. Second place tonight is Gary Wellman from Simboys in the number 45. Thought he had this one wrapped up, but the spoiler for his party was the guy that won, and Gary probably be still pretty happy to take second. Congrats, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, Steve. Yeah, no, I was happy with the podium there. It was a bit of a thought I might have done enough at the end there, but it was a good run anyway. I just didn't quite get there.
That was a sweet move you pulled on Parianastakis there. The trouble is it was ruined a bit by your teammate following you through, and Parry didn't know that he was there and moved down behind you and took out Todd, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, I was happy with that move. I was kind of setting that up for a bit. I'm like, I want to go 3 wide through the middle, but it's a bit risky, and I thought if I can trick him into blocking and duck to the bottom, it might work. And it worked good for me, and Toddy didn't quite get there either.
Yeah, a couple of guys were going to try that, split them down through the middle thing tonight, and a lot of guys were closing that off when they realised what was going on. Chris Bleakley had 2 or 3 goes at it and then realised that discretion was the better part of valour because the guys in front of him were just moving a little bit too close to each other and he didn't want to risk it. So round the outside was probably the best time. It was best way to go at the time, I guess, because Parry thought that you were trying to go down the middle. So nice move on that one. Mate, led 19 laps, started second, finished second. You can't really do much worse than that, much better than that.
Yeah, not much better, but it was good. No, Tyler, that was awesome. He had a really good, strong finish there, and I mixed the strategy up through the middle there a bit too, and pitted early, and that almost paid off because I thought we might even gap the field here a bit, try and run away, and the caution sort of brought everyone back together. But sometimes it's sort of fun, and especially this sort of series, you can mix a few things up and try some different things, and that made it a bit interesting.
You want to give it a shout out to anybody, mate, while you got the chance?
Just Hot Toddies and United Electrical, they're just team sponsors there, and Oz Oval, all you guys that put on the broadcast and series sponsors, and congrats again, Tyler, and also Rick for the podium. A couple of Americans up here, so that's the pressure back on the Aussies for next week.
Yeah, it certainly does. No worries. Look, congratulations again, Gary Wellman. You had a 16-point, you're behind Craig Roffey by 16 points. So tonight should go awful close to either at least closing the gap or mixing things up a bit. So going to be interesting to see how the finishing positions come together. Pardon me, after poor Craig Roffey being the innocent bystander in that last incident. So congratulations again, mate. Hope to see you back in a couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll see you at Auto Club, and we'll probably have a good race there. And like you said, puts a bit of pressure on the Aussies to try and get things done there after the US assault tonight.
No, that's it. Cheers, boys. Anyway, have a good one.
No worries. Thanks, Gary. And our race winner tonight, the rookie, his first race with Oz Oval, his first race in the series, and he's been telling us that his second race of the day, his first race in the series where he's won. Tyler Stevenson, congratulations, mate. The number 98 BWT Mustang managed to just nose it home ahead of Gary Wellman.
Yeah, that would be true. I'm very tired right now as it's 5 a.m, but we pushed through the night.
Mate, we appreciate you making the time to be here at such a terrible time of the day.
Yeah.
Look, it's incredible. You seem to have been at the front most of the race tonight, couple of times you dropped back a bit, but just looking at the stats, you only actually managed to lead 5 laps. So you've been in that top 3 or thereabouts for the best part of 75 minutes. How do your input on how you found the racing with these cars on the oval? I'm sure you're fairly familiar with Charlotte, but not necessarily in one of these cars.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a big time oval guy, but I was just kind of comparing it to like some of those lower horsepower cars, like the street stocks and the mini stocks. They kind of race like a super speedway here at Charlotte. Yeah, I mean, they were fun to drive. Definitely a lot different. They got very tight soon. Those tires weared really fast, but I think just most of the night I was just learning, and I think being up front helped because it was very competitive up front, and that helped me learn pretty quickly.
Well,
to drive these cars.
it certainly was competitive right from the get-go. Gary got just blasted away at the start and led the early laps there, and everybody else just tried to keep up with him. And when they eventually packed up behind him, and there was just so much side-by-side racing there and position swapping and lead changes. It was just fairly gripping stuff. It was fantastic racing. And the first 2 pit stops obviously were under green, so that would have sort of put the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Started 3rd, finished 1st, up 2 positions. Fastest lap 30.273. And your last lap was a 30.349, so you weren't even off the pace right at the end of the race there.
Oh, no, that last lap was insane. And even the way I got to that last lap, I mean, on the second green lap pit stop, I got put like in 10th, and I was like stuck in the pack. Then that caution came out with when Rick got turned. And so that brought us up together, but it was just a wall of cars, and I'm like, I'm going to need something to happen to get up to the front. And luckily they had the big one happen, and luckily I avoided it on the bottom, and that put me up into 3rd. And then I believe someone pitted, and then I was on 2nd, and that's how I got into the front row for the restart.
Yeah, well, good day to Michael Ladd. Good day to Michael Ladd, who's in the chat there at the moment. Yeah, so close, he said, and it was, yeah. So we'll see what he can do with it and stage a comeback. But look, yeah, fantastic to have you join us. Fantastic driving tonight. Very competitive. And really, sometimes we get a rookie in here, just not quite sure how to deal with the boys, the way they can race side by side and 3 wide and stuff in these cars. But fantastic night. And early on, you threw your hat in the ring and put everybody on notice that you were here to race and here to win. Yep. So, and that's definitely the way it turned out after the 75 minutes, mate. So, mate, you want to give a shout out to anybody, sponsors, family, friends, anybody like that?
I don't have a sponsor to shout out, but I do have a friend, and that would be Covey in the broadcast booth. So we were in the I'll tell you the story. So we were in the Team Watson chat, and I was just doing some racing last night, or like 5-6 hours ago. That's when I was doing the BMW race, and he's like, "Hey, you want to try this supercar oval thing?" And I'm like, "How late is it gonna be?" He's like, 7 o'clock, like 3 a.m. your time. I'm like, all right, I'll stay up for it. I'll give it a try. I'll see how it is.
Well, it's Sunday morning there now, isn't it?
Yep, it is 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so hopefully you don't have too busy a Sunday before Christmas, and you can put your head down for a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping for a while.
No worries. And look, welcome to the league. Congratulations again, Tyler J. Stevenson.
Yeah.
And look, congratulations on the win and a fantastic drive along the way. It wasn't just that you won. It was you got a good start in the top 3 and drove the wheels off the thing and reaped the rewards. So congratulations again, and we'll see you back. I know it's difficult to make every round, so hopefully we'll see you back when you can make it. And you're probably going to be on a bit of a high there for a while and be a bit wide, so you might have trouble getting to sleep.
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
I'm glad to have Bug to be here. Thanks for letting me in. So I'm appreciative of that.
No, not a problem at all. And if you want to get involved in the league out there, our next race is January the 5th at Auto Club, and you can find the league in iRacing Leagues under by searching League ID 10491, and you can find us at ozoval.wixsite.com or on Facebook, and the links are in the details of the description of this video. And if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, by all means contact us at quasiesports@gmail.com, and we can talk about it and tailor a package to suit. And that's our league ID there, Ozoval V8SC Racing. And we will be back in 2 weeks at Auto Club in California at Fontana. And that's another night race. We're looking forward to it. 2 weeks' time on January the 5th. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. On behalf of Kobe Jordan in the booth and myself, thanks very much for joining us tonight. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.